So would you like to play Flip the Book?
Flip the book.
The book. So there's 3 books to pick from, 1, 2 or 3. I know you can't see them. So which book? It's an intuitive exercise.
All right. Well, I'll go for number 3 because that's my numerology number.
Okie dokie. Well, that is what we refer to as the big book. So that's your Insight and Awareness book. So you've got 1 to 430 pages to pick from.
Okay. Well, seeing as I'm in the 3s, why don't we go to page 333?
Okie dokie. Oh, it's actually a photo. It's a picture. So
There you go.
can you see that?
I can, but maybe we better go to the other page then.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, I'll explain it. So it's a lady falling into the pit of her unresolved emotions. So
Right.
the energy of her soul's unconsciousness. So she's looking very freaked out. But through that energy of her unconsciousness is the energy of grace. And the caption is, when you are operating from your unresolved emotions, you fall from grace, separating from your awareness of your soul and disassociating from feeling the truth of your own energy. It is your fall from grace that allows you to experience and explore the truth of the energy of your soul's unconsciousness, which is part of the natural process of resolution and evolution. So how would you describe the process of resolution and evolution?
Well, getting back to what we were talking about a couple of minutes ago, it all comes back and synchronizes with fear.
Yeah.
Because if you're operating from a base of fear, then you are not in a rational, emotional, and spiritual area of your mind, your consciousness, your body, whatever. So getting back there to understand yourself and relaxing and going into that soul energy, that to me is what it's all about. It's interesting that comes up as a complete follow-on to what we're talking about. False evidence appearing real.
Definitely.
Look
Love that.
beneath the falseness. Look for the truth. Look deep within. Don't just look at the surface.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like looking at a headline in a newspaper and then not reading the article and saying, oh,
Yes.
yes, I know all about that. I read that article. No, you didn't. You looked at the headline.
Yeah. I like that. So with the astrology, are things written in, does the astrology give us some of our destiny points that you were talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Very much so. Very
Right.
much.
So the time we're born and the
Oh, yeah. It's a journey through life. It goes from that moment you were born. That's why we have to know the time you were born and the place.
Mm-hmm.
And then it doesn't say when we're going to die or when the body's going to die, because that's up to us, up to the other side. And I was told by a medium recently that I recently had several exit points if I had wanted to take them. But I didn't. I thought, I don't remember that. But
Yeah.
it's all subconscious.
Yes.
So we have those exit points at various times. We all do. Sometimes people take them very early because the soul had gone far enough. But we then go on and then go for whatever we need to.
Yeah, that's interesting. So I want to do the other book as well, just out of curiosity. So this book, the back part of the book talks about your soul, like the individuality of your soul. So I only use the back part of the book because it's actually a book written for abuse victims. This kind of information is going in my next book, which hopefully will be out at the end of the year if all goes well. So can you pick a number between 189 and 215? 189 and 215.
209.
209.
2 and 9 is 11. It's a very spiritual number.
Okie dokie.
Just occurred to me then. I didn't do it because of that. But just,
So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs to pick from.
Paragraph 4.
Paragraph 4. So this comes under the heading. So these I speak of the core essence. So the core essence is within your soul, right? So this comes under purity. So purity is transparency of truth that is always there. Truth may be hidden beneath the deception placed upon it or exploited with manipulation and corruption. But regardless of what occurs, beneath that which is not pure is the purity of truth. Truth can be deceptively built upon, but can never be completely replaced. Truth is the foundation that deception is built upon, but constructions become unstable when they are not true to their foundations, which become overloaded and exposed. Deception is always threatened by truth. Truth may be concealed by deception, but it is never altered by deception. Truth remains, even if never discovered. Purity is truth. Interesting.
Very, very.
Yeah.
Well, see, to me, that the first thing I thought about was the fact that it describes what's going on in the world today. Because the last few years, we've had so much corruption, so much fear being pushed at us, so many, well, I'm not going to go in political here, but truth has definitely taken a back seat. But now, truth is coming out. All sorts of things are emerging as to what's been going on in the last 3 years, and it's all coming out, and people are starting to wake up. So truth will always come through one way or another. Not always the full truth, but at least it will start to help people to realize that there is more than what we've been fed by a whole lot of very corrupt people. Unfortunately, that is the planet at the moment. We have a lot of very corrupt people, and they have been really force-feeding us. So we have to look for that truth. Look deeper, not just trust what we're being told all the time. Question, think for yourself. That's really important.
Yeah, I agree. And I think we're all starving for the truth, and we're tired of the spin doctoring and all the rest of it.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and
that's a nice way. I can think of other words, but I'm
I'm diplomatic when I need to be, Barry.
I'm not.
And you've really tried to find the purity of truth in all the works that you've done.
I do.
Yeah.
And that is why the 3 books that I've written, After Life, No Goodbyes and Past Lives Unveiled, I'm looking for the truth of what life is about, what happens when we arrive and when we go, and in between, and when we come back, and when we're here before. So I'm looking for that truth to be able to help people find their own truth.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. And that's what the past reveals for us, the truth of who we really are. And then once we can face that and work with it and discover our own truth and be honest about it, then we can move on in life. And that's important.
That's right. We can start resolving and then involving.
Yep.
I love it. Well, thank you for all the work that you have done and that you put out there. I know I've appreciated it. So, and thank you for being on the podcast.
My pleasure. Thank you for inviting me. I've had a really enjoyable time.
I did too.
Thanks, Lorraine.